Welcome to the Renaissance. Okay, so today, y'all, we're gonna do a deep dive into Beyonce's film Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. And boy, was it a film. Okay, so let's hop into it.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, I gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it.
I forgot to do my intro. Hey y'all, hey, it's Treya Monet back to y'all with another video. In today's video, like I said, we are going a deep dive. We are doing a deep dive into Renaissance, a film by Beyonce. I just went and seen it this past weekend with my mom. Me and my mom also went to the concert in August here in Tampa. So I'm like, let me do a deep dive of everything that I learned, y'all, or all of my key takeaways during the film. And me being the entrepreneur that I am, of course I took notes. We got notes on top of notes on top of notes, y'all. So we're going to go through all of the notes. And I want to just tell you guys a lot about my key takeaways, things that I've learned, things that I have, things that I'm just going to really take with me, especially going into 2024. I'm not going to lie to y'all. This film was life-changing, y'all. Like, literally, my perception on so many different things are completely changed at this moment. And if anything ever wanted me to work hard, it was this film. If anything ever wanted me to just go through, follow my dreams, follow my goals, and really get to the bag, essentially, it was this movie. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've never been an extremely, super Beyonce fan. I just never was. Beehive, don't get at me. But I might be a new member of the Beehive now. After watching this movie, y'all, it really completely changed my perception on her, not only as a performer, but of course as a businesswoman as well. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it, you guys. First thing that I want to go through and discuss is just the business standpoint and the business model, if you will, of the actual film leading into the movie. So of course, you guys know you have something called high ticket and you have something called low ticket. Your high ticket, of course, things that are, a nice, cute little price tag, And then, of course, your lower ticket are things that are a little bit more affordable. One thing that I really appreciate from Beyonce is her having a high ticket and her having a low ticket. Of course, her high ticket is the concert, right? That's going to range you anywhere between maybe $100-$200 all the way to maybe even a couple $1,000, depending on how much you want to go through and spend on the concert tickets. And then, of course, the movie, you can go to the movies nowadays from anywhere between $15 to maybe $25. I think I paid like maybe $22-$25 for me and my mom's movie ticket. And I really appreciate the fact that she allowed her audience, no matter the tax bracket, if you will, that you're able to go through and witness the Renaissance, no matter how much money you got in the bank account, okay? Like, you're able to at least go and see it for maybe about $15, $20, $25. Or if you big dog, you can go ahead and spend that $1,000+ price tag, depending on, of course, where you're seated within the film. And what made me really go through and appreciate that is, like I said, you're able to experience everything that she's worked hard to go through and create, no matter your tax bracket, essentially. So I really appreciated that. And one thing that really taught me was to not worry about my price, but to more so worry about my experience. I can go through and allow my audience to have something that's high ticket and allow them to have something that's lower ticket, and they can still get similar experiences. Of course, it's nothing like actually being in the room, but you're able to go through and allow your audience to still experience the thing that you're going through and you're offering them without having to go through and kind of shift the perspective based upon how much things actually cost. So I really appreciated that, and it really taught me to create more streams of revenue out of a stream of revenue. Because if you really think about it, Beyonce created a stream of revenue out of a stream of revenue. She was already doing the concert. You might as well go through and just make a whole entire production out of it as well, right? So that's something that I really want us to think about, is how can we make streams of revenues out of streams of revenues? And how can we go through and offer something at a higher price point and still offer something at a lower price point without us going through and spinning our wheels, with us doing the things that we were already doing anyway, right? Like, she was already doing a concert. She went through and just made a movie out of it too. So I really appreciated that, because it really taught me that we don't got to be out here doing all this hard work. You really don't got to be out here doing all of this hard work. You can really go through and create something out of something that already exists, right? So for example, I tell my audience this all the time. When it comes to creating content, you're already creating the content. You might as well create content if you creating content. And that's like another additional piece of content, right? Like, just like right now, I got all my lights situated. I got my background all nice. I could have had a tripod behind this tripod filming me capturing content. You know what I mean? So I think that is so dope that she did that. The different tiers, really allowing your audience to get an experience no matter how much money that they are making. I really appreciated that. The next thing I want to definitely talk to y'all about is Blue Ivy. Blue is 11 years old, and let's talk about inspirational honey, okay? Shout out to Blue. One thing that I really appreciated and really learned from the experience of just watching the movie and actually seeing her behind the scenes was you literally cannot worry about what people say. What people say has everything to do with them, and it has nothing to do with you, right? People gonna talk about you to the day you die. Like my grandma used to say, they talked about Jesus, right? And one thing that I learned just really observing by watching the movie was she's 11 years old. Going on a stage in front of 70,000+ people sometimes. Like, that's so dope within itself, right? So her seeing the amount of attention that, her dancing got, or seeing the negative comments, if you will, those same people that's talking about that 11-year-old getting on stage dancing don't even have the balls to get up there and bust not one move. Don't even got the balls to go up there and post something on social media. Don't even got the balls to do the smallest of smallest things. So she really could have went through and let that affect her, but she didn't. And one YouTuber, or not YouTuber, a TikToker, she made this video. I'm going to insert it right here so y'all can watch it.
This is your reminder that everything you desire lies on the other side of your fear of embarrassment and shame. Okay? Of your fear to be seen trying. I saw Beyonce's movie last night. Can't wait till she gets the Oscar because she is a director, honey. Okay, she's truly, truly a director. But I saw the movie and some things stuck out to me that I really need to share with y'all. First thing, the dancer that went viral for continuing dancing despite the fact that her wig fell off, she said, fuck the fear, fuck the embarrassment. I have such a passion for what I'm doing right now that I don't care about those things. And guess what? Beyonce saw that and hired her the next day. Are you gonna keep wasting time being afraid of what other people are gonna say, or are you just gonna do what you actually want to do? Which is it? Which is it? Okay, second thing, Blue, another amazing, incredible talent. I love the way her mind works, okay? But she also decided that despite the embarrassment that people were projecting onto her, despite the negative comments that she saw after her first time dancing with her mom on stage, which was so nerve-wracking for the both of them, okay? Despite all of that, she decided, I'm not afraid to be seen trying. I'm gonna continue on. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go back and readjust, go back and readjust, go back and readjust as many times as I need to until I feel as though I got it right. And guess what? She got it right. And she won. And you know why she won? Not because she did all those readjustments, but because she decided that she did not care to be seen trying. You have to decide what is more important to you. You have to decide. And that's not to say that the moment you don't care about being seen trying, the moment that you do indeed try, everything's gonna go perfectly, because it won't. It won't. But it's up to you to decide what is more important. Deciding to move forward with what it is you're passionate about, or deciding to not move forward because you're worried about what other people will say. Yeah. Anyway, love you.
And one thing that she said was, don't be afraid to be seen trying. Do not be afraid to be seen trying. Do not be afraid to be seen messing up. Do not be afraid to be seen failing, right? And I took that, and that has really stayed with me these last couple of days, is because of course we all get in our funks where we're like, I'm not posting on social media right now. I'm not exactly sure how my audience is going to take this. As a business owner, I'm not really sure if I want to do this because I don't want it to be looked at the wrong way. Screw all of that. Do not be afraid to be seen trying. Those same people that you are worried about seeing you try is the same people who don't even have the guts to try in the first place. So why are we being afraid being seen trying in front of a bunch of people who don't even have the balls to even try? right? Like those same people talking about Blue being on stage don't even have the guts to even do half the things that she even did. I know me personally, I probably would be extremely terrified to get on the stage and dance in front of 70,000 people. I wouldn't even get on the stage and dance in front of 70. Okay. Like thinking about different things like that really changed my perception. And it just made me want to just create, just put the content out there, do whatever it is that you feel like you are called to do. And don't worry about the things that people got to say, because they are going to talk regardless, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's happy or whether it's sad. Okay. So I just had to talk about that. Another thing that I wrote here was the 3 stages. I thought that was something really genius. So in the movie, she talked about there being 3 stages. And I thought that was such a business component. And the reason why I say that is because it's all about systems and operations and making sure the back end of your business is operating effectively and efficiently. So basically, you guys seen the amazing stage, that she went through and she created with a large circle in the middle. Basically, what she was saying was every single one of those panels are put by hand. They were all created by hand and built. The entire stage is built essentially by hand. And there's 3 stages. And when one stage is at one space, the other 2 stages are at the next 2 stops. And it's basically this entire cycle and this entire system. And one thing one takeaway that I had from that was to make sure that there's things operating that are helping the business run afloat, even when we can't necessarily see it, right? So that was one thing that I thought was like really cool and really genius there as well, is that while one is being built, the others are on their way to the next location. So we should always be making sure that there's some pieces within our business that are always constantly moving. And that was one thing that I took from there too. Another thing that I really appreciated about the movie was her really highlighting the crew members and highlighting her team, and her putting the crew members in reflective garments, because she basically essentially called it like a choreography, because everything that they're doing is extremely important. If the crew members ain't doing their job, it's going to be extremely hard for her to do her job, right? So one thing that I learned was like the importance of having a very good team, and a team that cares about the brand as much as you care about the brand. In the movie, there was a scene where a guy, she was telling one of the light workers about, a light, and I forget exactly what she was saying, but she was telling them about a light, and she's like, does this light exist? And he's like, I don't believe that it exists. No, it doesn't exist. 2 seconds later, she's like, well, I looked it up, and here it is. And that just goes to show that people don't care about your business as much as you care about it. They're going to just blow you off and say that this thing doesn't exist, or we can't do this thing, when the thing can go through and it can happen. It's just that they don't have the energy, or they don't have the strength, or they don't have the vision in order for them to actually see whatever it is that you're trying to go out there and create. And it really takes a team of dedicated people. And that's one of the hardest things. One thing that scares me about business is creating and getting a team of people who are just as dedicated as I am. I've had my rough patches, y'all, of team members. And I'm going to do a whole video about hiring, firing, even sharing a little bit of my experience with some of the team members that I've had within my business. And it takes a team of people who really get the vision and who want to get the vision. People who want to see the brand progress. Because at the end of the day, they're just trying to get a paycheck to feed they self and their family. They can really care less sometimes about your vision. And I really appreciated how she's like, no, I actually looked it up. I'm doing your job now at this point. And she's freaking Beyonce. Like, what the heck? Like, crazy, y'all. So that's one thing there too. Another thing that I wrote down is she's not giving you no BS. So stop giving your audience BS. And that was probably another thing that I was like, wow. Like, I even got chills just saying that. Is, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I give my audience BS. Sometimes you give your audience BS. Sometimes it's just like, let me throw this post together real quick. We be in the grocery line. We be sitting in the car on lunch break. Let me throw this post together real quick and just post it. Stop giving your audience BS, right? Give them something of value, right? She knows that these people are, I'm pretty sure she knows that these people are spending sometimes their last. People that probably went into debt to go to this concert, right? So why would I sit up here and give you some BS? A lot of the times we spend money, we spend our last to just do X, Y, and Z, or to purchase X, Y, and Z. Stop giving your audience BS, because they are literally sometimes spending their last when it comes to just being with you, right? even when it comes to just being a content creator, is you don't have to sit here and watch this video. So I can't continue to give y'all BS content when you could be using the time that you're spending watching my content actually creating something of value or doing something else with your time. Time is one of the most valuable things that we have. So I have to make sure as a creator moving forward that I'm not giving y'all BS content, because you could be spending your time doing something else or spending your time watching another creator or whatever it is. And that's something that was so dope that I even just noticed was, I forget exactly what scene it was, but she's literally like, no, we have to make sure that this is perfect. She said it herself. It took them 4 years. Oh, y'all, I'm getting all the flashbacks from the movie. She said it took them 4 years to craft the show, to craft the tour. 4 years. A lot of the times we come up with an idea yesterday and we want to execute on it tomorrow. Like, it just really showed me to really take my time. The more time you spend on something, the better the outcome. Why are we trying to throw things together, right? Like, I had a client meeting the other day. She's like, okay, I got to get my website. I'm like, let's not worry about the website. The website gonna come. The website gonna come. We got to make sure we handle all this stuff on the back end. So when you really sit and think about it, are you willing to wait 4 years to see your dream come to life? Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Are you willing to wait 4 years to see your dream come to life? 4 years. Are you willing to wait 4 years? In the movie, she's flipping through all the different stages of, or the different designs of all the different stages. Literally a book full of different designs. Are you willing to write out your business plan, a book full of business plans until you get that perfect one in 4 years? Are we willing to go through and do these things? Are we? Y'all, I don't know. I'm talking to myself even. I'm not even just talking to y'all. I'm really talking to myself even as well. Another thing was house music. I feel like her tapping into a lane that really isn't touched. Like, especially by a lot of big artists, a lot of these larger artists. And one thing that I really appreciated was her stepping aside from, you know, the R&B type of Beyonce and really hopping into a different lane that she, you know, I'm pretty sure she's extremely educated in and informative in, but a lane that isn't highly touched by a lot of big artists. That was something I also really appreciated too. Next thing I want to, of course, talk about is her having a vocal injury and her having a knee injury and not letting that stop her from her next level. I had a meeting the other day with someone and she was telling me how she had all of these things going on in her life and how she wasn't able to do X, Y, and Z. Why are we letting these small, minuscule things hinder us from tapping into our next level? Stop letting these small things hinder us from tapping into our next level. Sis had a whole knee injury, literally a whole knee surgery, and still got on that stage and performed 56 shows. 56 shows, y'all. Crazy. Sure that we are really, like, how bad do you want it? Right? Like, how bad do you want it? That's something that I often have to ask myself, and that's something that I challenge you guys to ask yourself all the time. Is how bad do you want it? One thing that I'm going to probably do is just write that on a Post-it note and put it on my bathroom mirror. So every single day I wake up and brush my teeth, I can see that question. And I got to sit with myself and I got to answer that question every single day. How bad do you want it? Do you want a little bit bad or do you want it bad, bad? And I feel like me sometimes I want it really bad. And there's other times where I just feel like I don't want it that bad. But I know for a fact that I'm going to be successful. I know for a fact that I'm not just here to just waste space, right? Like, how bad do you actually want it, right? And that's something else that in the movie I could see. She's already proved herself. That's crazy. She's already proved herself. But she still shows up and continues to prove herself day in and day out, right? One thing that she said in the movie that I wrote here was she said that after the show, she couldn't wait to get stability. But she said in this moment, there's work to be done, right? Like, we want both. We want the stability, we want the peace, and we want the relaxation, and we still want the hard work. Skip the peace, skip the stability, skip all of that stuff, and let's get the work done now so we can rest later, right? And then I'm thinking to myself, she ain't even really rest. The tour just stopped, what, October? She at movie premieres. She's doing launches for her fragrance. Sis ain't seen no stability, really, right? Like, I appreciate that so much, y'all. Like, if you have not seen this movie, please go see this movie, you guys. Please go see this movie. Another thing here as well that she said was, she says, I am not a machine. I'm a human being. And one thing about it is people will look at you as if you are a machine. And I'm not going to lie, like, sometimes when you really look at Beyonce, you're like literally looking at her and you're like, how are you doing this? Like, how? That's one thing I seen. That's the one thing that I said to myself the entire movie, excuse me, is how is she doing this? Like, how do you, like, what is your secret sauce for this hard work in you? Like, is it, like, that's just one, if I ever had a chance to just ask her one thing, I would say, what is your biggest, not even tip, but what is your strategy for execution? Because she is an executor, okay? Sis is a whole executor. And that's one thing I would ask her was, what are your strategies or your tips and tricks even for execution? Because she is an executor, right? Like, she doesn't go through and just brainstorm all of these ideas, say all of these things and not execute on it. She's an executor. And that's something that I appreciate too as well. But that's a couple things that I got from the movie, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have not seen it, please, every entrepreneur, every content creator, every influencer, you need to go see this movie. I'm about to go see it again because it was that good. And I'm a Beyonce stan now. I'm sorry, I'm a Beyonce stan now. I've been having Renaissance on repeat, y'all. I really enjoy people who execute. I enjoy people who just got the balls to just go out there and just do it and not care what nobody has to say. So I challenge all of you guys tonight to go book yourself a ticket to go see the movie. If you've seen it, let me know your feedback down below. What was your biggest takeaway? Let's talk about it in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.